On April 27, 2011, something impossible began over Alabama.
This is a large, violent tornado coming up on downtown Tuscaloosa. Be in a safe place right now.
A tornado refused to weaken. Ahead lay hundreds of thousands of people directly in its path.
Oh, look at it! Oh my God! That's it! That's it! Oh my God!
The next 91 minutes would become one of the darkest chapters in American history. It all began on April 25th. That was when the atmosphere sent out its first warning signs. One after another, tornadoes began touching down from Texas to Tennessee. In just 24 hours, meteorologists recorded 64 twisters. The next day, the severe weather pushed east and produced another 50 tornadoes. But no one had any idea what nature had in store next. Even then, the conditions were already coming together in the atmosphere to create something that may happen only once every 40 years. April 27th, morning. The South receives a warning from meteorologists.
We didn't know where tornadoes would touch down, how many tornadoes we're going to have, exactly what state maybe would take the brunt of this, but somebody in the Deep South was going to have a really bad day.
Dozens of tornadoes form, one after another. Some storms vanish from radar, only for the supercells to produce new ones just minutes after.
This is a very serious, life-threatening situation today. I know that many of you in Anniston and Gadsden and Sylacauga and Talladega, it's been...
Philadelphia EF5 would go down as the first EF5 of the 2011 super outbreak.
One of the hardest hit towns in our area, Philadelphia, saw one of the outbreak's worst storm.
Oh my God, look at the debris!
Violent tornado barreled through the towns of Hackleburg and Phil Campbell.
A tornado packing 200-mile-per-hour winds shredded Hackleburg above them.
It's just unbelievable at how damaging this storm is when it came through. But again, this place just looks like an absolute bomb went off.
The Smithville tornado wrecked everything in its path, leaving the community behind with just empty concrete slabs. A large and violent EF5 tornado with winds of 205 miles per hour tore through the heart of the town. The monster twister destroyed everything in its path.
Right now, something abnormal, something that seems to defy logic, is unfolding across the South. Radar screens are overwhelmed by the sheer number of storms, while millions of people sit frozen with the one question: where will nature strike next? 2:54 p.m. Along the Mississippi border, that same killer supercell is born. Just 15 minutes later, forecasters issue the first tornado warning. A terrifying outbreak of severe weather is closing in. At 4:43 p.m. in Greene County, the supercell drops a massive wedge-shaped tornado to the ground. Meteorologist John Oldshoe captures it on camera. It is the first video confirmation the tornado is already on the ground, and it is moving straight toward populated areas.
Look at the debris right here. See that wrapping back around? That is what's getting churned up by this tornado. My gosh, look at the size of this tornado. This is a massive, massive tornado, folks. Please take cover immediately.
The vortex easily rips hundreds of trees out by the roots and tears apart the first buildings in its path. But for this force of nature, it's only a small warm-up. The tornado, with several vortices spinning inside it, gains violent momentum and grows larger. There's almost no time left to escape. Ahead lies Tuscaloosa, home to more than 90,000 residents and nearly 32,000 students at the University of Alabama. The city does not yet know that in just a few minutes, its life will be split into before and after.
This is a large, violent tornado coming up on downtown Tuscaloosa. Be in a safe place right now.
Take cover immediately.
Take cover immediately. This
Yes,
is very
ladies and gentlemen, this is a large tornado on the ground. Please take cover immediately.
By that point, parts of Tuscaloosa were already cut off. Because of the storms and damaged power lines, many neighborhoods had lost electricity.
If you know anybody that maybe doesn't have electricity and cannot watch us or listen to us, make a call.
People didn't even realize the deadly danger that was closing in on them. 5:10 p.m. The giant tornado reaches the outskirts of Tuscaloosa. This is no longer a thin funnel, but a broad, dark mass of rain, dust, and debris. This massive, moving wall, EF4 strength and half a mile wide, slowly swallows the horizon and is about to strike the city.
Based on the size of this, if you are in the city limits of Tuscaloosa or on the campus of the University of Alabama, stay sheltered.
The monster's first major blow lands in the 35th Street area. The tornado snaps a cell tower, destroys warehouses, and tears through industrial buildings. In a direct hit, the tornado destroys the Emergency Management Agency, the very place meant to coordinate help for the victims. The building is wiped out, along with its equipment and emergency vehicles. Gradually growing in size and tearing through the city, the monster approaches the Rosedale and Forest Lake neighborhoods. It was here that the destruction first reached a catastrophic scale. At that moment, Jeanette Barnes is at home, watching television, as the meteorologist reports that the monster is already near her house.
It sounded like a train, just like a big bulldozer bulldozing down bricks. It had got louder and louder and louder, and
Jeanette runs to the bathroom, and then it hits. Within seconds, the house is torn apart, and then comes silence. But beneath the rubble, Jeanette was still breathing. Miraculously, she survived. When neighbors pulled her from the wreckage, she saw a neighborhood lying in ruins. Ruins that, tragically, also held those who had not been as lucky. Leaving catastrophic destruction in its wake, the tornado wipes out block after block, leaving almost no chance of survival. Around 5:14 p.m., the tornado crosses one of the city's best-known intersections, 15th Street and McFarland Boulevard. At that moment, meteorologist Richard Scott is on the air from the studio and urgently tells residents to take shelter.
Again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. We're watching a deadly situation for the city of Tuscaloosa, a very large tornado on the ground.
But the tornado had already chosen its next target. Ahead in its path stood Scott's own home. Just a few houses away lived his colleague, Jonathan Newman.
First thing I was worried about was Jonathan Newman. I knew he was in the house. That's why I tried to get here as fast as I could.
Just seconds left. He runs into the bathroom and climbs into the bathtub. Almost immediately, the tornado reaches the house. The monster passed so close that only a few walls stood between them.
I started hearing all the other windows in the house going out, and stuff was just flying around, so banging into walls. And yeah, it was definitely scariest thing I've ever been through.
Large violent tornado that is right on the interstate, now moving up north up toward McFarland. That'll be coming pretty close to the University Mall.
If you are in the city limits of Tuscaloosa or on the campus of the University of Alabama, stay sheltered.
Stores, restaurants, parking lots. The tornado mercilessly destroys everything in its path, tossing cars around like toys. Within minutes, the roads are transformed into a tangled maze of debris, trees, and mangled vehicles.
DCH Regional Medical Center and University Mall, the word is destruction. That's coming along from a ham radio report.
The store's completely gone. I don't even know what it was.
We're walking.
That was a Schlotsky's. I got all this destruction.
Just hungrily attacking downtown Tuscaloosa. Now, when we actually got closer to where the damage happened, that was when it really got shocking. I'm not exaggerating when I say it looked as though it was the apocalypse.
The tornado keeps gaining strength and is moving so fast that despite all the warnings, residents have no time to take shelter. Next in the storm's path is Beverly Heights. Inside a small house, Lauren Brown is sheltering with other students. Her mother sits frozen in front of the television.
About 5:10, I called her, and she said, "Mom, I'm scared." I said, "Baby, it's okay. Get your head down." And at that moment, WSFA had gone to the live view of the Tuscaloosa camera. I knew where that camera was. I knew what it was showing. It was massive. And we watched it. I knew it was going right toward her.
The tornado is heading straight for Lauren's house, but the monster shows no mercy. It completely destroys the house.
I ran out my front door, fell on my knees, and said, God, please don't take her now. And I just felt a peace come over me. I stood up. I knew she was gone.
Lauren and 3 of her friends are killed instantly. Around 5:16 p.m., the tornado tears through Alberta City with the same destructive force. It shows no sign of weakening. Instead, it holds its strength. In seconds, entire homes are reduced to rubble. All that's left behind is wood, brick, and personal belongings.
First responders who were here were so busy pulling the living from all of this debris, they were forced to ignore the dead. That's how bad this is. You can hear the sound of smoke detectors in the distance, but no one's here. There's the smell of death.
Next in the path is Alberta Elementary School. In seconds, the tornado strikes with such force that the walls buckle and collapse. Fortunately, the school was closed. Moments later, the vortex completely destroys the Alberta Park Shopping Center and tears 2-story homes to pieces. Before leaving the city, the storm delivers a powerful blow to the Chastain Manor apartments. After 5:20 p.m., the giant vortex finally leaves Tuscaloosa. Behind it are dozens of devastated neighborhoods, more than 1,000 injured, and 44 dead. After the big city, the beast's appetite does not fade. It only grows. As it approaches the next victim, the tornado widens to 1 mile. Winds reach up to 190 miles per hour. Its force is so extreme that it rips trees out by the roots, even in ravines. Around 5:25 p.m., the vortex barrels into Holt and immediately tears through wood frame homes, leaving nothing behind but rubble. Directly in its path is Holt Lock and Dam Road, lined with dozens of mobile homes and trailers. To an EF4, they're like cardboard boxes. The tornado shreds them to pieces, along with the people trapped inside.
We heard it the whole way down there rumbling. It was a continuous rumble the whole way. When we got in the basement, we wasn't there 5 minutes. The whole house started shaking, glass breaking.
At the crossing over Hurricane Creek, the tornado tears apart a large railroad bridge. It easily lifts a heavy 34-ton support into the air and throws it 100 feet uphill onto a nearby hillside. The vortex attacks a marina on the lake and a waterfront restaurant. People on the shore are injured by debris, while the tornado sucks up dozens of boats and throws them nearly 300 feet from the water. The monster moves into a wooded area and races straight toward Birmingham, scattering debris from Tuscaloosa along the way. It tries to fool meteorologists, weakening to EF3 and giving false hope of calm.
That will be moving up into the Birmingham metro area. And again, we'll expand this thing out just a little bit. Of course, this is Bessemer right here. This is moving about like that. And that's going to come right up into Birmingham.
Around 5:40 p.m., television stations capture the vortex entering Jefferson County, rapidly drawing in new energy and intensifying sharply. There would be no miracle. It reaches its EF4 peak. The tornado grows even wider, darker, and more dangerous.
In the Birmingham metro, nobody should be driving. Nobody should be in a mobile home. You should be sheltered until this thing passes. Again, that is a violent tornado coming right up toward the Birmingham metro area. Hueytown, Pleasant Grove.
In television footage, the 1.5 mile wide vortex is almost impossible to fit onto a single shot. Around 5:45 p.m. in the Concord area, the tornado leaves nothing of homes and businesses but debris. Now in its path is the neighboring quiet town of Pleasant Grove.
You hear it?
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Look at it swirling over here. You see it? Look at it.
Holy crap.
Oh my God. That's it. That's it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh,
Go.
Residents understand the dark giant is moving straight toward them. The tornado completely destroyed entire neighborhoods are reduced to bare concrete slabs in seconds.
Pleasant Grove is a community of about 3,900 homes. We lost about 50% of the city. More than 1,300, close to 1,400 homes were completely destroyed.
This was one of the deadliest stops on the road to Birmingham. Near McDonald Chapel, the tornado easily rips a 35-ton steel coal car off the rails and throws it nearly 400 feet through the air. After that, the vortex's strength deceptively dropped again to EF2, but it was still powerful enough to keep destroying and to keep taking lives. Despite all the warnings, the scale of the disaster proves fatal. The storm claims 29 lives, and now Birmingham itself lies directly in its path. A city of 212,000 people.
There is a tornado emergency for Birmingham, Alabama. So folks, Birmingham, on the north side of Birmingham, large wedge tornado is now making its way to the east very rapidly, probably about 50 miles an hour. It looks like it's going to pass to the north of downtown.
At exactly 6 p.m., meteorologists saw it on radar. A massive debris ball ready to destroy.
The circulation with this, about 1.5 miles wide, that's likely what we're seeing in the picture there. A very wide combination of tornado and rotating thunderstorm whose updraft is basically all the way to the ground.
Around 6:08 p.m. in Pratt City, the tornado tears into the city blocks with renewed force. Brick homes lose their roofs and entire upper floors, while schools and churches collapse under the impact.
It looked like a bomb had just went out. I mean, it's undescribable.
Michelle Perkins gets her children into the basement just in time.
3 minutes seemed like it was like 30 minutes. I mean, we could hear the house tearing up. We could feel it. We were rocking.
Her 72-year-old neighbor was killed. At the very center of the impact, the tornado left almost no chance for those sheltering inside their homes.
And I'm hanging on to the bottom of his t-shirt, and I can feel he's blowing away from me. And I just held on, and he tried to reach back and get me, and it stopped.
In Birmingham, the tornado paralyzes the work of emergency services. Within seconds, the very place where rescuers were supposed to respond from is itself hit by the storm. The tornado brings down high-voltage power lines, plunging the neighborhood into darkness. Roads disappear beneath trees, building debris and overturned cars. Survivors wait for help, but rescuers simply cannot reach them. In western Birmingham and the surrounding communities, the tornado claimed 20 lives. As the tornado crosses Interstate 65, it's still nearly 1.5 miles wide. Along the highway, hundreds of trees lie ripped from the ground, and metal light poles are folded in half. In Fultondale, homes and businesses are heavily damaged. But here, it becomes clear. Even a vortex this massive eventually loses its strength. Within just a few miles, the brutal impact begins to weaken. At 6:14 p.m., about 2 miles north of Tarrant, the tornado finally disappears. In its 1 hour and 31 minutes on the ground, it traveled 80.68 miles. At its widest, the vortex reached 1.5 miles across, with winds estimated at up to 190 miles per hour. Overall, the tornado claimed 64 lives and injured more than 1,500 people. Damage from the storm was estimated at roughly $2.4 billion. At the time, it was one of the costliest tornadoes in United States history. But even after the Tuscaloosa-Birmingham tornado disappeared, that dark day was not over. That same eve, Alabama was hit by another EF5 near Rainsville.
And you look up and you can see the sky from a basement.
Yeah.
That's
There's
very
no
terrifying.
second floor.
There's no second floor, no...
Nothing.
April 27th, 2011 became the deadliest tornado day in the United States since 1925. In just one day, the storms claimed 316 lives. Altogether, over several days, the super outbreak produced hundreds of destructive tornadoes and shattered numerous meteorological records. This disaster changed the way dangerous storms are forecast, how warning systems are used, and how tornadoes are studied. But worst of all, it left permanent scars on the devastated towns and in the memories of those who managed to survive.
Take everything in that you have with your people. Cherish every minute. You never know. No one's promised tomorrow. If there's someone has this great sorrow, this great grief, you will be okay. You may not make all the right choices to get to that point, but you will be okay.